Okay, recording our pre-level 3 Bali retreat call. Yay! Very exciting. It's like just a few weeks and we're there. So incredible. All right, so I'm going to get into it because I don't want to take up too much of your time, even though I could just sit here and do happy dances for hours. So I might just run through couple of like logistical things quickly, and then I'll see if you've guys got any questions. And then there's a little bit of, prep stuff, because as exciting as it all is to like think about lying by the pool and going shopping and all of that, we want to get a little bit more than that out of it. I mean, we're going to do all that stuff, but we're going to do even more so that when we come home, we're different. So I want to give you some prep stuff just to make sure that everybody's kind of in the best possible place when they get there to be able to take on everything you're going to learn and take it to the next level. So I'm going to just mute you for a sec, guys, for the background noise. So number one, thank you. I think everyone's booked their flights, at least getting there by now. Thank you for sending me through your details. I have to sit down and kind of do a quick check and make sure I do have everybody's, arrival times and dates, because not all of you are arriving on the same day and all of that. And then I'll see who's arriving on the same flights with who. And, we might even do that in the Facebook group, like just so you can work out who your flight buddies might be and who you're flying in with. And then I'll organise the transfers. Some of you, like Brooke's going to go hang out somewhere else first. Becca's going to hang out somewhere else first and arrive early. So we'll sort all that out, which transfer we're going to organise and so on. And in terms of arriving at the airport, Donna just said, who do I look for? Just a little Balinese man with a sign. That'll narrow it down. So how you walk out of the airport and it's just a sea of little Balinese men holding up signs. So I'll probably just because we'll use the same driver unless he has to be in two places at once. I'll get him to just make up one sign, and I'm not sure exactly what it's going to say yet, but I'll let you all know before you get there so that you know who you're looking for. If you haven't been to Bali before, just the only thing that I would ever caution anyone, will stay away from the Aussie yobbos is a good rule of thumb. And number two is just at the airport, there's all these really helpful porters, and that's the one thing that I get sucked in by, because you're busy, you're tired, and then there's this lovely man carrying your bag, and then he wants a big fat tip, which is enough to feed his family for a month. So hold on to your bag and only let your driver hold your bag unless you feel like starting to give away some money and feeding families, which is fine too. But, so that's the only thing. They don't tend to run off with your bags or anything, but, they take it 20 metres that way and then go, that'll be $10, thanks. So, and it's, it's awkward. What else was I going to say? So, yes, all of those of you who are arriving early, going elsewhere, whatever, we'll work it out as to where you're getting picked up from and all of that. The actual Summer's cottages where we're staying, just going to check with Brooke. Brooke, now you're the one who they said, no, we have nothing left before the retreat. It's all booked up. Is that right?
Yeah, they only had the large villas.
Which
they had none of the little cottages or the rooms. So I booked into the place across the road.
That I put you onto. Cool, yeah. And Becca's staying somewhere else anyway. So if anyone's watching this and they are arriving early, Summer's Cottages is booked out, and I've got another place across the street. There's also a place next door that I could put you onto, or, you can just Airbnb and find something sort of close by so you don't have to move too far. And I know a few of the girls have ages ago already pre-booked their night, 1 or 2 nights before that they're arriving, so that's all good. And then I'm liaising with the venue to try and minimise people having to move rooms and so on, but obviously because before the retreat there's certain configuration with open to public, and then it's our retreat, we'll just have to work it out, but we'll get there. I'll get all that sorted and try to minimise you guys having to move rooms. If I can totally avoid it, that's my ideal. I have a note here that says alcohol and media. So you're all adults and you're all free to do whatever the hell you want. But given that this is a retreat that's all about raising your vibration, being really open, being really in tune with energy and all that's going on, and we're going to take it like to a whole new level. I'm going to teach you a process that then I want you to be able to do at home. It'll be a really great idea to just go, do you know what? I'm just going to abstain from alcohol even the couple of days leading up to the retreat, because what you'll find is that it just allows you to be a lot more sensitive and a lot more in tune with what's going on. And I drink occasionally, like Martin turned 60 and I had to drown my sorrows, just the realization that I'm married to a 60-year-old. So I had and we had a blind wine tasting party. And, Christina turned 18 and I had drinks for that. But apart from that, I just don't drink anymore. And it happened as a result of the retreat that I helped Juliet with, where I met Brooke in Bali, where, for the week there just wasn't any alcohol and there was no coffee either. And that actually really killed me. It wasn't even the alcohol. And I just found I didn't need it. And now even if I have a kombucha that's like homemade and a little bit strong, I get tipsy off of that. But what it's meant is that it's really accelerated my spiritual growth. It's really opened me up a whole lot more. And where I used to use alcohol to mask stuff that was, uncomfortable or a low vibration, like, you get home at the end of the day and you go, oh my God, that was a huge day. I can't wait for that glass of wine. That's just Band-Aid measures. We want to move beyond that. So I'm not going to tell anybody off if they're having a drink, but I would, it's your decision to make. So I would suggest that you really think about it and go, just for Bali, not forever. You don't have to be like me, and just go, I'm going to go cold turkey. And like I said, I'm not that strict. If I catch up with a friend I haven't seen in a year, I'll have a glass of wine with her to celebrate. But, you might want to just for Bali go, do you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into this as clear and as open a channel as I can possibly be so that I can evolve, so that I can really tune in and get into alignment with the highest possible vibration and take my whole being to a whole new level. And unfortunately, alcohol just dampens all of that, so it's a really good thing to ponder. Media, I wrote down because I don't watch the news. Every time I do, I regret it. Every time there's a news break in a commercial break, I regret putting the volume up because it lowers your vibration, right? The news is like a funnel that condenses and dumps all the world's bad news, hardly ever any good news, and dumps it all on you. And usually at a time of day where you're a bit tired, you've got your own stuff going on and so on. So a media ban is also a really good idea for raising your vibration. Maybe just make a point of watching some fun stuff, some uplifting stuff. Kind of think about, you're going to this retreat and it's going to be all about taking yourself to a whole new level. You want to arrive in the best possible shape. You don't want to arrive there all worn out, half pissed from the flight, and then be playing catch up the whole time you're there. Okay, so everyone's laughing. I'm on to you all. So yeah, think about that. Like alcohol and media, I think, are the two really big ones. And then the other thing is, because, I'm reminding you now that this is about up-leveling, it's probably going to buck a few of your unconscious gremlins, that have been quietly lurking there, doing their thing, and they're going, oh, fuck, she's going to poke and prod at us again. She's going to shine the torch on us again. And, she's going to get rid of us, basically. So you might find that some stuff pops up. If it does, grab a hold of any meditation you can. Those of you who are in Effectology School, you've got access to all of them. I might pop one or two up in the retreat group for the girls who are not in Effectology School, so that you've got a couple that will help you get through. But if there's anything that really pops up that you need, then let me know. And I've been thinking about this a fair bit and going, oh shit, like the girls who are not mastery students where they get free one-on-one sessions with me included anyway, you might need some one-on-one support. So I'm going to think about, if you guys want some, that you get access to some one-on-one sessions at a nice fat discount. I haven't really thought about it yet, but I'll put that offer out there. So if anybody needs it, And I think the next retreat, what I'm actually going to do is include a pre and post retreat session, just because I think it helps. And if it's included, then you take it and you get the full benefit. But anyway, that's there. I'll put some, I'll put some meditations up in the group. Just prepare yourself and just be aware. And if stuff pops up, like if old patterns, old things pop up that you go, I thought I dealt with this, celebrate it, because it's popping up to be healed, and you can only heal what you can feel. So if old crap pops up right now, that's perfect, because we're going into the perfect scenario for you to be able to heal it, transform it, and shift it. Okay. And so just a reminder that, it's really important that you are at cause, that you are in that place where you go, I'm responsible for my own vibration. I understand that the world is this weird hologram that I project out there. So everything that's coming back at me is just a reflection of what's going on inside of me. So sometimes that's showing you, it's pushing your buttons because there's stuff there that you haven't quite dealt with yet that's there to be healed. So you're getting the contrast to go, do you want this or do you want that? And then you go, great, I want this, thank you very much. And you know what to focus on, and you know what to be aware of that you don't want to focus on anymore. And the trick is, the biggest part of it is the awareness and the intention that I want to focus on what I do want. Thank you to this situation, this contrast, for showing me what the options are. I choose this one, and that's where I'm going to put all my energy and my focus, because where your attention goes, energy flows, and where energy flows, that thing will grow and flourish. So, be aware of that you're like this laser beam, and you get to decide where you want to focus that energy. Some of it might be shadow stuff that pops up where someone just pisses you off because it's something in you that you need to heal, or that, you have to forgive yourself for, or whatever it is. So all that stuff that you did in level 2, I'll go back over your notes and I'll give you a little bit of basic homework that I'd love everyone to kind of be practicing between now and then without overloading you. But go back over your level 2 notes and just see what comes up for you, because there was a lot of stuff. And, Brooke was a beautiful classic example. And Brooke, I still tell the story about how you just walked into that neither one of us knew that's where I was going. This is just a focus wheel, everybody. And next was like, oh, actually, this is a really good demonstration of a shadow. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I still tell that story. I didn't mean to do it. Is that woman still at your work?
No, she left. Right after that, actually.
Amazing. Isn't that incredible? And she was like the bane of your existence, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you. I love sharing that story. All right. So, sorry, there's just one more before I get into the sort of the homeworky prep stuff. With Dawn not being able to come along and join us, I've obviously had to get somebody else to come and run yoga. And luckily, I know a few really gorgeous people who live in Ubud. And so I asked one of them who I'd already been talking to about coming and taking some photos so that, I can promote the next retreat and have some actual photos of me being there running a retreat. And her name is Nora Wendell, and she's gorgeous and she's a lovely photographer. And I asked her, I said, I know that we can just duck across the road. There's actually yoga classes across the road, but I'd love to have somebody still do it, at our venue. And she went, oh, I'm a yoga teacher and, I can do that. And I think, perfect. She's just gorgeous. You're going to love her. She's absolutely fantastic. So we're having a bit of a chat, and I explained, we just want, because there's all different levels through this group. So we don't want hardcore yoga where, it's for some experienced yogi. What we want is, we just want something that gets us into our bodies to prepare us for the processes and the meditations that we're going to do. So yoga isn't about being it's a beautiful side effect that you get more flexible and your body responds in beautiful ways. But the purpose of yoga is to prepare you for the meditation. And every yoga teacher will tell you this. The purpose of yoga is to get you out of your head and into your body so that you connect with your unconscious. And that's why people love yoga. It's addictive, it just stops all that noise in your head and it gets you centered and grounded. So those of you who don't practice yoga regularly, don't freak out. It's not about being skinny and flexible. They just use that for promo stuff. yoga is a really individual thing. Everybody does it at whatever level they're at. And it's actually just about noticing and being aware of what's going on in your body. And I explained to Nora, the group and so on, and that's perfect because what she mainly does is beginners and intermediate yoga anyway. So I said, just real beginners, really simple stuff. We just want to wake up basically. And she's also mentioned she can do a chair yoga. And I went, oh, I've never done that before. That sounds cool. Because, like, for example, Robin goes, well, I'm not sitting on the floor cross-legged. And I went, that's fine, pull up a chair. So I'm going to take Nora up on that because I'd love to know how to do yoga sitting in a chair. I don't know if anyone's ever done it. Becca, have you ever done yoga in a chair? No? Okay. So, cool. So, don't freak out about yoga. Yoga's there for a purpose. Nora's lovely and she's on the perfect wavelength, so it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And for those of you who are into yoga and want to do something more advanced, you can go like if it's directly across the street. They've got yoga, they've got yin yoga in the evenings, which I find pretty, like, yin yoga, you don't move much, but my God, you feel it, right, Becca? How would you describe yin yoga? Hang on, I've just unmuted you. How would you describe? Hey, gorgeous. So yin yoga to me, I don't know, like you hold poses for a really long time, but it's very much seated. Like there's not much standing poses. Yeah. I've only done it a couple of times.
Yeah. So yin yoga is about stillness in posture. So you hold poses for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And just go to where it's comfortable and then stay there. Or just that little bit past comfortable and then stay there for anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. It's
and a lot of it is sitting. Good. I found it really hard.
The challenge is to stay still, not fidget, and not let you.
To relax.
It's good mind training for quieting your mind.
Yeah, it's really cool because like when I was like, the reason I found Summer's Cottages is because I was staying across the street where Brooke's going to be at the Moksha, and right next to it is a place that you can stay there, but they also have yoga classes that are open to public. So those of you who want extra yoga, it's right across the street, and I think from memory it's Tuesday and Thursday afternoons that they run the yin yoga. So if you're into yoga, it's all good. There's plenty of yoga. No shortage of yoga. Also, if you want extra massages, like we're so well placed, there's a really cool massage place. You're getting 2 poolside massages anyway as part of the retreat. But if you want more, there's a really nice place across the street. Like it's not one of these beautiful luxury ones. It's quite cheap. It's not super luxurious. It's quite cheap, but it's very good for being very cheap, because there are some cheap that are not. Towels might be smelly and stuff like that. But I found this place was just the perfect, like cheap and good and nice enough. And so you can have 100 massages and pedicures and facials there as well. And you're going to get lots of time for all that stuff. All right. Lots of really good looking male yoga instructors. Yes. And I remember, I'm going to tell the story, the emotionally intelligent, divine feminine worshippers. That's true. So I went and I did a yin yoga class at that place I was talking about. And the yoga instructor was I think he was actually Indian, but he sort of looked like a European mix. And we're doing the yoga class and whatever, and he suddenly, talk about, in touch and emotionally switched on, he suddenly went, oh, no, oh, little life. And then there was a little ant crawling across, and he rescued it from being stepped on. So that, for me, that's a little bit too far. That's too much in your feminine, mate. Just do the yoga, step on the ant, move on. I mean, it's just fun. Oh, little life. And we stopped the whole bloody yoga class to rescue the ant. Obviously, yeah, very funny. Very funny. Oh my God, look. Okay. Shit. Where'd you know? I'm not going to crash it. Don't worry.
No.
Where did you come from? That is so bloody funny. Okay. Oh my God, he's crawling all over my this, but now I'm like, what do I do with you now? Just, I'm on camera. If I crush you, I'm going to look heartless. Just go where you need to go. Do your thing. Anyway, what the hell? Big ant. So I just wanted to do that as a bit of a, setting the scene and covering off a few things that I knew were questions. I'll give you guys some, just a review of a little bit of homeworky stuff to prepare in terms of the raising your vibration and all of that in a minute. But before then, we'll just go around, make sure everyone's okay. Has anyone got any questions, comments, anything that I might have missed? I'm trying to make sure everybody knows what's going on. Everyone good? Any questions? You're all unmuted, so just speak if you want to speak.
I just wondered if there's like an itinerary, just because I've just got a couple of things I wouldn't mind doing with some spiritual healer that I want to make an appointment with. And
okay, so you need the itinerary beforehand. Stuff. All right, yeah, a tailor. Are you with the tailor? Is it in Ubud? Because if it's not in Ubud, it's going to take you ages to get there.
Yeah, well, the man with the shoes is a long way out, but she's trying to find me someone else in Ubud. But the spiritual healer guy is in Ubud.
Cool. So. And you're arriving a couple of days early anyway, aren't you, Jackie?
Yeah, so, that's right.
Yeah. I'll get that to you. I wasn't going to give you guys the itinerary till you arrive, but there's going to be a bit of, but I've got to put it together anyway. So I'll make sure I'll let you know when the free times are, so that you can book in your your things. And there's going to be the downhill cycling as well, which is sort of like it's going to be a bit of a rest day basically, because what I want to do in this retreat is I don't want to just sequester you off in the hills somewhere, and somewhere that's so far removed from reality that you can't integrate what you're learning into reality. So that's why I like being in the hustle and bustle of a wood. Like when you're in the retreat venue, it's going to feel like you are sequestered in the hills, and when you leave the retreat venue, you're going to be like in the midst of a wood, which is chaotic and beautiful and gorgeous, and shops and all of that. And so I want part of that experience to be, okay, I'm switched on and I'm existing in the world, and then I'm learning to retreat and go inward and practice these processes. So that's really important. So it'll probably be the Thursday, but I'll confirm it, where we'll have the downhill cycling tour, which is optional. So if you want to come along, it's a beautiful experience. I love it. Like, it'll be the third time I've done it. And if you don't want to do that, then that's a day where you can kind of chill out and do whatever. And there won't be yoga that morning because we get picked up at 8:30. So yeah, that's a day where if you don't want to do the cycling, definitely you've got the whole day. But there'll be another couple of at least afternoons where you've got time to do all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'll get you the actual days so that you can obviously book your healer and so on. Yeah, thank you. Cool, beautiful. Anything else? Oh, good. All right. Well, let me tell you what I just wanted to, because I thought, without, doing the whole level 2 again in a phone call, I've already talked about being at cause, remembering that, it all comes from within you. So taking that responsibility, I don't really need to reiterate that to you guys because you know that. Otherwise you wouldn't be going to level 3. But remember that the universe hears who you are being. And that's something that I'm going to bang on about a lot at level 3, because it's not about how do I force the world to give me what I want. It's about how do I become the person who is the perfect match, and it can be no other way but to have my world reflect that back to me. So that's what we're going to be working on in level 3. We're going to be working on you becoming that person on every level. So your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, the way you act, the way you speak, being the person who has the life that you desire. Because until that's a match, it's going to be hard work. So that's what we're going to be working on. So remember that the universe hears who you are being. Your personality determines your personal reality. And that's what we're going to be getting into. So just to prepare, if you're not currently meditating every day, I strongly recommend you do. Anyone willing to put their hand up and confess they don't meditate every day? Carrie, Brock. So to prepare, you'd want to meditate every day, 15 minutes. Get up 15 minutes earlier, roll out of bed, put on your pajamas or your dressing gown, sit in a chair, put on a timer. That's like the number one thing. It's the number one thing, because every morning it gets you started in a way where you just let your vibration merge with the infinite, basically, where you open your unconscious and you connect. And so that's like a little reset every day. You know, it's like hitting the reset button and really getting off to that beautiful start. And then the other two things I wanted to remind you of, I'm not going to give you 10 processes to do. And this is about simplicity. It's not about more. It's about less but better. And that's what I'm going to be banging on about at the retreat as well. It's not about doing more things, more ways of, more processes, more this, more that. It's about learning to do less and less of them, but doing them better, doing them more effectively. So there are 3 things that I highly recommend you do between now and when we get started, is to get into a practice of meditating every day, because once you get into that habit, you will be addicted forever and never leave home without it. And then I wanted to remind you about waking up in appreciation, because remember that every time you go to sleep at night, the momentum of your vibration, which is what law of attraction responds to, stops. So the momentum of your vibration stops. And that means that the first thing in the morning is when you have the best possible opportunity to set the tone of where your vibration is going to be that day, and to get the momentum started again in the positive direction that you want it to go. So when you start in the morning, you're kind of neutral. And if you go back to the, you know, kids' playground merry-go-round analogy, it's stationary. And your job is to decide, I want it to start spinning in that direction. And once you do that, you cannot stop the process of law of attraction kicking in. And law of attraction is just another word of saying momentum. And that applies for how your brain works. You know, we talk about the synergy being how the mind operates. One thought leads to another similar thought, which leads to another similar thought. We can talk about it at the emotional level. One feeling leads to another similar feeling, leads to another stronger feeling, stronger, stronger, stronger. So that can be stronger positive, or it can be stronger negative. It can be, you know, whether it's thoughts, feelings, or whatever. And even that translates through into the physical. So it's just momentum gathering. That's what law of attraction is. It responds to your vibration, brings you the next thing that matches, then brings you another thing, and it gathers momentum. And the more momentum it's gathered, the more it creates a stable pattern. And then whether that's positive or negative makes no difference. It's hard to stop that pattern once it really gets going. But your job is not to force it by like keep throwing things in there and try and make it spin, because that's not law of attraction. That's law of, assertion. Law of attraction is you holding that first thing and letting the next thing come. And the advanced method of doing that is to just stay with that very first thing, which, like I say, can be as simple as, oh, my bed is so comfortable. That's it. There is no way you could lie there all day and just stay on that one thought and that one feeling. There's just no way, right? It's going to go somewhere. So, but the more powerfully you connect to it to begin with, the more powerfully you then attract the next positive thing that matches it. So the advanced way of doing it is actually to go, oh my God, my bed is so comfortable, and really feel it, really go deep, and just hold it until the next positive thing is so powerfully wanting to join it that you cannot resist it anymore. And that is when you are being the magnet, and that is when you are invoking law of attraction, because it's coming at you and it's going to stick to you and there's nothing you can do about it. So just remember that really super simple process of waking up there, start high, stay high, because if you start on that positive vibe, it's so much easier to stay there. Things aren't going to be able to topple you and pull you off. Okay? And just start really, really general. So you've got to train yourself to do this, because we're all, at the moment, we've trained ourselves to wake up and go, what's the biggest problem I had yesterday? Let's go back to that and start worrying about it again. So then you're doing the same process, but you're doing it in a negative way, and you're going straight to the biggest problem, which means you're going to straight away go to, lots of negative momentum and really specific. So the process and the learning and the exercise for you is to keep training yourself to just, the moment you realize you're conscious, to go to something really general, really non-specific. Because if you go to something specific, you're going to pull in whatever you had going on that yesterday. So if you go to a specific topic, you're going to, then law of attraction kicks in, then the momentum starts again, and you'll go back to where you left off yesterday. So you've got to be really general and start. That's why I go with, my bed is so comfortable, my pillow is so comfortable, I love hearing the birds outside. Like that, you cannot not have that go somewhere really good and positive. And it will become more specific onto topics, family, love, your home, and all of that. That'll happen naturally, but don't try to force it. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And doing the morning grid is a really, I want us actually to do it all, maybe even over breakfast or before we leave the morning session and go to breakfast together. And just get in the habit of doing the grid every single morning and setting that daily intention, because that's, again, a really powerful process for invoking law of attraction, for getting the momentum going. And the more you do it, the more you become Teflon, like things just slide off you. So does anybody not remember how to do the morning grid and need a little reminder? All good? Tic-tac-toe. Let the next thing come. Good. Cool. So, yeah, I'm thinking that we should do our morning grids like as a group. It'll be really powerful to do it in a group setting. And so bring your journals. I'd like you to, so I gave you all your journals in your welcome pack, and I thought, shit, I should have given them to you when you get there. Make sure you have a journal with you, because I'm not giving you workbooks. I want you to just free flow journal and just be able to scribble without restriction. So keep a journal. Start it before the retreat if that feels right to you. Doesn't matter. But yeah, we'll do our morning grid in it as well. It's just let's put all the positive energy, all the positive vibration into one thing, and yeah, bring it along in the mornings. And then just on that morning appreciation and then later into the morning grid thing, I wanted to remind you that to really help that, it's good to actually finish off on a good note at night, because like I was explaining before, if you're not vigilant and you let it go straight to the last thing from last night, you will actually pick up. So your momentum kind of stops, but then it'll restart if you let it, and it'll go back to the last thing you went to sleep on, and it'll just pick up from where you left off. So prepare yourself by going to sleep at night and reminding yourself, tomorrow's a fresh start. I get to choose where I want to go with my vibration and my life first thing in the morning when I wake up. And I'm going to do it by practicing my morning appreciation and just celebrating how bloody comfortable my bed is. And if you want to, you can add to that going through a gratitude list. You can do it on paper if you want, or you can do it in your mind and go through, all the things you're grateful for that day. And, once my gratitude list was just one thing, and it was, I'm so glad this day is over. So if that's all you have to be grateful for, that's okay. But that will just actually help you make the morning even more powerful and make sure that you don't slip back, too easily. Because if you go to bed, worry, thinking, and then you lights out, when you wake up in the morning, that's going to be pulling you back. But you've got that split second where you can get started. So if you, at least at night, make sure you don't end up in this big spin of negative momentum just before you go to sleep, it gives you even more space to create the positive momentum for that day. So that's it. So I would just love to remind you and encourage you to do those 3 things. Meditate every day. Remember to wake up in appreciation. Takes no extra time, doesn't cost any money. Do your grid over coffee if you can. And remember that when you go to bed, you can just remind yourself that tomorrow is a new day. Tomorrow I start fresh. Here are the things I'm grateful for today. So it's really just 3 things. Meditate, morning appreciation, evening gratitude. That's it. Let's keep it simple, and let's get really bloody fantastic at the simple things. And yes, if you can avoid alcohol and media, that would be really encouraged as well. Just thought I'd plant that in there again subconsciously. So that's it. That's all I actually wanted to go through with you guys. I didn't want to go through 50 billion processes because you've got those. And we can, when we're over there, if that comes up and you guys want to practice those sorts of processes, we can absolutely do the things again that we did in level 2. But, right now I'm not going to give you a mountain of homework. There's no point in that. I want less, but better. That's the ultimate goal. All right, ladies, you're all unmuted. So who's excited? Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so bloody excited. Now, Jackie, you like to be gluten-free, don't you?
Yeah, prefer that. Yeah.
Yeah, easy. Gluten-free in Bali is like easy. It's almost hard to be eating gluten in Bali. It's kind of the opposite. So that's fine. Because I'll be giving you guys some menus so you can pre-order what you want for our joint dinners and stuff like that. And Brooke and Christina are leaving a day early. And I don't want, because Brooke's got a wedding to get, like a friend's wedding to get back to, so totally understand. So what we're going to have our, like I was going to have the dinners, so that we'd have one on the last night, but I think it's more important that we have the experience together, and then our last night can just kind of be a chill night where, because it'll be like your last night there and you might want to just go for a wander or relax or whatever. So I think it whatever's meant to be is perfect. And so we'll have all our dinners together, right? So we won't have we'll have a farewell ceremony on the last morning, so you will miss that, Brooke. But we'll have all our dinners with all of us together, because it'd be really weird to suddenly have 2 people gone otherwise. So yes, I have to finalise the itinerary, I think, and get it out to everyone. All right. I'm really happy. Thank you all, ladies, for joining me for this, because it's going to be incredible and I feel so blessed. And big one off my vision board, that's for sure. All right, cool. So I'm going to just go around. Donna, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, good?
It's a big day. Today's the day that I left 12 months ago, so it's just a bit of an emotional day.
Oh, honey, what a day. What a big day. Lots of rest, lots of healing.
Yeah.
Good. Carrie, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Good. A bit nervous as well. That keeps sneaking back in.
Yeah, good.
But yeah, very
Good.
excited.
Remember to keep breathing, because the only difference between fear and excitement is whether or not you're breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you hold your breath, you go into fear.
Yeah.
So physiologically, that's it. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
So just keep breathing and keep going, I'm really excited. Because you are. Yeah. It's a big thing, right? I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Yay. There's a few ladies who were like, no, I don't do this sort of thing for myself. And then it's like, I can't wait to do this kind of thing. Like Jackie. For Jackie, it was a really huge thing to begin with. And then now she's like, I'm going to Bali and nothing can stop me. Awesome. Brooke, how are you doing?
Really good. It's it'll be 3 weeks tomorrow till I actually fly out, so it's starting to feel a bit more real now.
Yeah, it's very real.
Because I was going to stay at the end, and then I realised I had to come home for the wedding, so I'm going earlier a few days to chillax, get the vibration right.
That's it. That's right. Ease into the Bali vibe. At the moment you land there, you just go,
that's it.
Thank you, Mama. I'm home. It's so good.
Yep.
Beautiful Becca.
Absolutely.
How are you doing, gorgeous?
I'm looking forward to going back to Bali. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Awesome. So it's going to be good. I finished my my work this week, and then I've got 3 weeks to get into the vibe really well. I'll have lots of free time to be prepping, so I'll get there all zen already.
Yeah, you will. Awesome. Can't wait. I forgot to finish talking about Nora, but I'll do that in a moment. Jackie, how are you going?
Yeah, good. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really flat today, but anyway, just overwhelmed, but be fine.
It'll be fine. The moment you get on the plane, you just go, whatever. It's funny. Funny how that happens. Okay, so I just forgot to mention, I realised one thing. So with Nora coming to take photos, and she's going to be teaching the yoga, she'll obviously take plenty of photos. I'm kind of telling her what I want her to do, and she'll take those. And obviously you guys will be in them, and if anybody has an issue with that, you've got to let me know so that I tell her not to photograph you. Don't worry, they won't be like poolside bikini shots. So, but she also said, look, if anybody wanted a portrait session, I don't know whether that's on the radar for anybody, you know, you'll be able to, I'm really happy to share whatever photos I end up with that I'm paying her for. It's not going to be a huge amount, and there'll be some spares obviously that you can look at. But if anybody's keen to actually get some nice shots of themselves done while they're over there, let me know and I'll put you in touch with her, because she said, look, while I'm there, if anybody wants portrait shots, obviously I'm already going to be there. I can do like a really cheap package, because the thing with photographers is they'll take as many photos as they think is worth their while. So if she knows that, you know, people want some extra shots, then she'll take a whole lot of extra shots so that there's more to choose from. But then she's got to put the time in to edit them down. So if somebody wants a personal portrait session because you want it for your website or your whatever, then, you know, let us know, because she's fantastic. She's an amazing photographer. She's already going to be there. She lives in Bali, so she's cheaper than somebody here anyway. And because she's already coming to the retreat, she said, yeah, you know, I'll do a cheaper package, and then she can take people aside and make sure she gets individual shots of those people. So if anybody's keen on that, can you just message me or email me, and I'll put you in touch with her, and you can just let her know so that when she shows up, she'll, you know, she'll know to spend a bit of extra time with you guys. Just wanted to say that so that we don't afterwards go, oh, I didn't get any, you know, I should have got more photos done, because you have the photographer there, and that's your opportunity to do it. Awesome. So that's pretty much it from me, I think. I think we've covered everything. Don't pack too much stuff. You don't need much in Bali. That's it. Who's never been to Bali before? Everybody has, right? I think only Jackie hasn't, so I'll give her the little bartering 101, which these days you really don't do that in the main street shops anyway. They're all fixed price, but, you know, markets and places like that you do. That's it. So, yeah, hands up if you're going to be abstaining from alcohol between now and then. No, I'm only kidding. Everybody's faces when I said that, like, oh, yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, you may as well start practicing now, right? Hands up if you can't wait to have a drink tonight. That's more like it. I love you girls. We are going to have a lot of fun. This is going to be awesome, and it's going to be the perfect blend of everything, and that's really what I want. You know, it's not just retreat, it's not just like holiday, it's the best of everything with an amazing group of women. So I couldn't wish for anything else. So thank you all. If I've forgotten something, you have any other questions, just sing out. You obviously know where to find me. And yeah, I'll get in touch with you all about transfers and all that other stuff that we mentioned before. I might get a little thing going in the group just saying, just let us know, you know, so you can find your flight buddies, because I think there'll be a few people who go, oh, same flight. So that's perfect. It's nice to have a flight buddy that you get on and off with. It's a really nice thing. So, and if I don't see you before, I'll see you in Ubud. Amazing. All right. See you girls. Have a beautiful day.
Bye.
Lots of love. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.